So the culprit has been caught and the truth has come out. Essentially, the lead lady in waiting for concubine Ah Duo, the purple concubine. I really say it's purple because she has purple hair and basically that's her theme. The head lady in waiting was the one behind all of it. She was the one that was behind the poisoning, trying to poison the little girl concubine, as well as a whole slew of things to cover up her own crimes and mistakes. So there was a lot that happened in this latest episode of Apothecary Diaries. A lot. Like, it felt like this was a pretzel of many different things happening. And my lord, if Maomao is not like the most intelligent person, literally figuring it all out and going before the culprit and essentially confronting them of their crimes. This is like it's an episode of Scooby-Doo. It's like, you know who the culprit is, and instead of going to the police, instead of going to one in charge that would do something about it, yeah, she just confronts the culprit itself. So to make it clear for anyone that might have been confused on this, because to be honest, this whole episode was essentially Maomao talking about everything that happened. Long story short, the concubine, she cannot give birth anymore. And so thus, she is being made or kind of pushed out, if you will. Now, years ago, when she had a baby, thanks to this woman who's all about honey, she has several beehives and stuff and basically uses honey for everything. Well, she apparently thought it would be a great idea to give honey to a newborn baby, which resulted in the baby's death. And she has taken it to the grave that is because of her and her mistake and her negligence that made the baby die. The main reason why this woman has stayed as the concubine Ah Duo's head lady for so long is because she was so impressed by her demeanor, how Ah Duo was a woman that would talk to the emperor almost on equal footing because they were lifelong childhood friends. And she was just impressed by her presence. So she's like, yep, I'm serving her forever. Well, the gravity of having someone you look up to, and it is your job to take care of that child, and then you were the one that actually killed said child, not on purpose, mind you, it is just weighed heavy on her. And to make matters worse, she didn't even know that she was the one that actually killed the baby until later, which was the child concubine came to her and was telling her how she almost died because she had honey as a young infant. And once this woman heard about that, it dawned on her like, oh my God, I killed my concubine's child. So what does she decide to do? Try to cover everything up. Try to make sure that the woman that she was so impressed with, her concubine, would not find out that she was the one that killed her child. So what did she try to do? Kill the little girl concubine and poison her, cover things up, as well as keep her away because they had a little relationship going on. The concubine Ah Duo, the purple one, and the child concubine, they had like almost a mother-daughter relationship. They were really cool friends, but this woman tried to keep them apart. So when everything was revealed, the evil mastermind gets caught kind of thing. Of course, it pans to the huge butcher knife that is behind her. Like, this knife is so crazily big for cutting up a slice of bread. It's like, yeah, you don't need one that big. We find out later that Maomao anticipated, just in case this woman actually goes on a killing spree to shut Maomao up, she actually had clothing on to protect her from being slashed and being cut, essentially, if she decided to come at her with a knife, which is like galaxy brain moment. Like, wow, what Maomao decides for this woman to do is just fess up that she was the one that tried to poison the little girl concubine, the fear for her mistress actually being pushed out. And of course, she's there going to kill her because she tried to poison someone. They want to hide the fact that she did the mistake of the baby years and years ago, apparently like 16 years ago. Seeing as how everyone believes the baby died from natural causes, because they're babies and stuff like that, happens. They push it under the rug, but a lot more happened than just that. Later, the next big moment that happened, you find that Jinshi is actually saddened. He's literally crying after being drunk. He finds Maomao, holds on to her, and literally just holds her just to comfort him for a little bit. And you're like, oh, that's weird. Why is he crying? Later, Maomao has a eureka moment of something that might have happened in the past, which honestly makes the most sense. Now, we talked about this last time. These two look related. Like, it looks to me like there's some relationship between the two. It looks like one is, they have the whole purple thing going on, if you will. So it's like, that's a little weird. So Maomao has this inclination like, wait a minute, they look very similar. As almost they, if they just swap clothes, it would be like the same thing, because the concubine looks kind of mannish and then he looks kind of feminine. And that's why everyone loves the both of them. It dawns on her like, wait a minute, more than likely, concubine Duo, the woman on the left, had her child swapped at birth to make sure that he had a very fulfilling life. Because you got to remember, at the time that she was giving birth, she was the concubine to the prince, while the concubine to the emperor, they were both giving birth at the same time. So she's thinking, wait a minute, if I swap my child with the concubine to the emperor, he's going to be treated better than if he's just with me, the lowly concubine to the prince that will one day become ruler, maybe. So Maomao's having a decision. Oh my lord, she probably swapped the babies, or had the baby swapped. Later, her baby dies due to the whole honey fiasco. That it probably was discovered later, wait a minute, these babies were swapped. And because those babies were swapped, Maomao's father, the doctor that was attending at the time, was punished, i.e. the reason why he's limping, because they probably like hit his knee or something like that, or made it to where has walking issues. He gets punished because he didn't realize that when they were born, the babies were swapped. And the whole fiasco that one of the babies ended up dying. So he gets punished, expelled, and thus this moment happens, which would explain why Jinshi is actually crying, because Jinshi knows that this woman is his rightful mother, but she's being pushed out. Even though she's kind of like in the palace, she's like further away in the palace, so it's not like they're in the same area, but she's being pushed out and he has to go through with it. And that's why they were having drinks for the final moment the night before, because his mother is leaving, his rightful mother is leaving, and he has to oversee it, if you will, because that is his role, which is like, oh my God, such a huge revelation of a moment, because it makes the most sense. Which goes back to me saying, how in the world is Maomao this smart? It's like, oh my God, it all fits. But of course, Maomao's like, maybe I'm overthinking it, and just kind of walks off. Which is like, oh my God, that it is literally what is the case, because it makes the most sense. And everything fits because of it. So I have to give it to Maomao. She is probably one of the most intelligent characters I have actually seen in anime in a good long while. Now, I would have, I would just leave it at that and just kind of move on, because that was like, everything that happened in that episode was absolutely crazy and probably some of the best parts of this anime. But they dropped this bomb on us as far as a preview for next week's episode. It looks like Jinshi actually takes Maomao out on a date. Hello? What is going on here? They doll her up even more so. And then now they're up here. It's like, what's going on here? What's the occasion? What's the deal? But I can't wait till next week to kind of see how that goes on. Like I said last week, this show is going to go on for another 12 episodes. This show is supposed to be 24 episodes long. So I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to every single one. because every single episode of the show is so amazing, so smart, so well done. And now that this big arc, if you will, has been concluded, we know who the culprit is and they've been executed. It was wrapped up with a bow, if you will. And now I guess we're going to go into some other arcs, maybe some standalone mysteries here and there, or another encompassing thing. We shall see, but regardless of that fact, I hope you guys enjoyed this analysis, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the anime, because I know I have. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, because this anime has been blowing my mind every week. It is so good and so well thought out and so well written that I'm here for it every week. But definitely let me know what you guys think. You guys take care of yourselves, be safe, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.